to Life Unscripted. Today we have Rhonda Mitchell joining us today. How are you doing today, Rhonda?
I'm good, Audrey. How are you today?
I am doing well. Thank you for coming on to the show today.
Oh, my pleasure.
So, tell us about you and what you do.
I'm a realtor, and I've studied and have my designation for an associate broker as well. And I've been selling real estate since 2001, so more than 25 years now. And
Wow.
for the most part, I've always sold real estate as I was working. So in corporate America, and then I did real estate on the weekends and during the evenings. And now that I'm retired from corporate,
hmm
I'm jumping into this full time. And so that's where we
Wow.
are.
Wow. Wow. I'm impressed. Wow. So, what inspired you to pursue a career in real estate?
You know what? My husband and I, when we sold our home, a friend of ours, Jamal, was selling
hmm
real estate, and Jamal was our realtor. He's a great guy, and he made it look so easy. I said, if Jamal can do this, I know I can do it. And wow, that was like the biggest mistake. And I say that because if a realtor can make it look easy,
Okay.
that's their job. They're doing a good job, but there's so much more behind the scenes, and we'll get to that later. But the paperwork that was involved in that, I had to become one with that. So I had to, get all my nerves out of the way and trust
hmm
that I could do it like I thought I could in the beginning. So
Oh my goodness. And I can definitely understand what you're talking about when it comes to the paperwork. I don't know about
oh,
on your end, but when I got into my house, I remember sitting down with the rep and it was a stack and she pushed the pile to the side and she said, "We're gonna go through this one first." I said, "What?"
right, right,
And the stack was like this tall, okay?
right.
And I felt like I was signing my life away. I'm like,
So
wow.
you're telling on yourself because the stack is not like that, not physical paper anymore.
hmm
So it's a little bit different now.
Oh, okay, because yeah, and well, this was just like let's see, like maybe 5, 6 years ago.
Okay, so
And so she came to the home and sat down and we did everything and the title company, all of the titling and all of
that,
that.
that was during closing then if you had all that paperwork, right?
Yes, it was
Okay,
closing.
okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's the only paperwork that I even had to see. So to me,
it's
it was just like, whoa, what is
yes,
this?
a book. Right.
Yeah, because you don't see no paperwork when you're getting ready to start, really. I mean, you're
Yeah,
signing, up for the realtor to represent you and show you around different homes and stuff. But towards the end was the nightmare. That was like, wow. And it took a while to go through that paperwork and to explain everything. So,
yeah, yes.
yeah. So what does a typical day look like for you in real estate?
Did you say typical? Because there are no typical
Ain't
things.
no such thing as typical.
After 25 years, it's all been different. There's a different experience every time. There are
hmm
no 2 days that are alike, no
Okay.
clients that are alike. On paper, they may look alike, but I would say if I'm taking someone out to show houses,
hmm
the buyer, I experience I explained to the buyers up front, what this should look like,
hmm
understand, and then when we get out there, it's completely different. What I mean by that is they'll say, okay, I'm looking in this area. For instance, let's go East Point. They're looking
Okay.
at Point and they're looking for ranches, and that's all they want. East Point ranches. So
Okay.
over to East Point, looking at ranches, and then they have other paper they want to give me to see the next go round. And you got everything. You got colonials, ranches, two family flat
hmm
in Northville. Come on.
Mm. That's a long haul from East Point. You're talking about an hour drive almost.
To narrow people down as far as where they need to stay,
Yeah.
but they need to kind of decide if we're going to go from one side of town to the other side of town. We're not going to do that in one day. If you want to look at Northville, we'll look at Northville,
Absolutely.
or we'll look at East Point on a Tuesday when you're off work or something like that. So it has to be a plan. And
Absolutely.
yeah, so it's different for everybody. And then you have some buyers who completely understand and they'll follow your lead. So
Oh
yeah,
my. Oh
it's different
my.
every time.
Wow. I would think that you would want to visit everything on one side of town, and not mix it up and be an hour away from, where the first location is, It
Yeah.
just makes sense.
Exactly.
Wow. Wow. Okay. What do you enjoy most about real estate?
Meeting the people. I mean, I know that sounds so cliche, but
Hmm.
I like meeting the people because you learn so much.
Yeah.
You learn more, you learn about the people and you actually learn about yourself, how much you are willing to take, and
Hmm.
nothing is typical. You should go with a fresh heart or rested mind because some things can be a little bit challenging and you still have to wear that customer service badge at all times if you want to keep your
Okay.
client, if you want referrals. So
Yeah.
it's very.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know, is that hard for you to do though? Like, is it sometimes you want to just say what you want to say, or you just kind of just
Yeah, I'm saying,
roll with the flow?
look, I'm going to know and saying, yeah, but sometimes, for the most part, that's just my natural personality. But other times, you do want to say some of the things you have to say, and you have to be. This may sound strange for some, but
Hmm.
you have to be willing to fire your client, and you have to accept the fact that they may not want to work with you anymore.
Whoa, now let's go back to fire the clients. Now, I want to hear about that. Now, what is
Yeah,
some that has happened before with you? I'm sure because you've been in the game for a long time, but
yeah, I've decided I didn't want to work with somebody. You're not gonna tell me how to do my job. Now either you're gonna trust me to take you and give you the things that you've asked for because I'm only responding to what you've told me in our initial meeting. And so
okay.
if that keeps changing time after time because you've talked to your cousins or your mom and dad, if you're going to bring someone with you, I don't dishonor that, but tell me who that's going to be up front because we're not going to have the whole family coming.
Hmm.
It's somebody different each time because what that does is, there's a lot of things going on in your head. And, at first you want something and somebody else may come in and say the light switches, something, a light switch. Come on now. There's some things that you can change yourself. So we're not going to go in and start deciding every time we go to a house,
Hmm.
have, a different idea of, how this should be done. Not necessarily of the house because you want what you want. And I can definitely appreciate that, but you're not going to tell me how to do my job because if you're not satisfied with what I'm doing and with who I am, then I'm not the person, and we don't have a good fit. And so, just like any other job with your employer or whoever,
Hmm.
it's not a good fit. It's just not. And what's meant for me is meant for me. What's meant for you is meant for you, and we can part ways.
I can understand that. I can
And,
appreciate
it,
that.
it works both ways. I tell my clients, there's information on the disclosures that say, um, I am your realtor and I represent you as a buyer or as a seller, but that is not a contract.
Okay.
So if you decide that you don't want to work with me, it's up to you, you know. But I would rather you tell me up front, and we shouldn't have to have this discussion every time. Either I'm going to impress upon you that we should be
Hmm.
together, and that's going to happen up front, or you're going to impress upon me that we both trust each other. Because one thing I do not like, and this has happened to me before, is with
Hmm.
somebody months and months at a time, and then turns out that they decided to call on the sign that was in the yard, without letting me know. And I've spent hours working with you, and you purchased from the agent that has the house listed. Now, if that's what you wanted to do in the beginning, if you want to just go on your own and do it, don't hire me as your realtor, because
Wow.
the time that I have with you is time that I could be with someone else.
Absolutely. And time
It,
is the most valuable thing.
it has happened to me.
Wow.
Yeah, and the thing is, I know there's some people who have said that relatives don't want to work with them, or things like that.
Hmm.
You can't get upset because you can if you want to, but it's neither here nor there. That
Hmm.
relative won't work with you. There are other people out here, so you have to market yourself. Now if I'm working with you already and you decide to, just go without saying anything, or we don't have a communication, and you just think I'm not for you, and we didn't communicate that, that's terrible.
Hmm.
If we're working together and I tell you up front and we can work together and it's good. I did have an experience like that before, and it wasn't good. I spent a lot of time with these people and they called on the sign, and I
Hmm.
find out from the person that referred them to me. And we had gone out to dinner, gone out to lunch.
Wow.
Time we went out to show houses, they wanted to bond with me. I take my husband with me now since we're both retired.
Yeah.
And we went out to dinner and all that, and they just wanted to become friends afterwards, but it didn't and I explained to my clients every time, it's something new every time because it's a lot.
Hmm.
Explain to them, if you go, different things that they should know, and I'll tell them. So yeah.
I mean, like you said, it has to be trust. You
Yeah.
you have to trust each other.
Yeah.
It's actually a relationship,
It
it's a professional relationship.
is. Yeah. And I still enjoy it, and that's one thing. When I encounter something like that, um I don't want to take the joy out of something that I love, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just want to keep the joy of real estate, right where it is. And once I can't enjoy it, and you put you put something deep into my stomach, it's like I can't do this anymore. Because I can't let you just take this joy away from me. I like
Yeah.
it. I like it.
Absolutely. I totally understand what you're saying. Definitely. Wow. It's unfortunate that you had that experience,
Twice out of 25 years is not bad. It's
That's
just
not too bad.
uh, water under the bridge, you know.
What are some biggest misconceptions people have about real estate agents?
What comes to top of mind for me on that is that some people think that real estate agents, as far as buyers are concerned, they're just door openers. They just let us in the house. If it's not an open house, schedule an appointment to see this house, and they're just door openers. I mean, they don't need me to tell them this is the kitchen, this is the dining room, or nothing like that. But they do need me to tell them, other things about this home and how we can negotiate the price on it, or if this house, I believe, is priced right, those types of things, based on not just looking at the pictures, but you want to walk into it, because with AI now, anything can be manipulated.
We know that.
You go online and you look at these houses, and it looks one way, and then you get there, it's something completely different. Paint on the wall isn't even the same. I was thinking about
Hmm.
one house I had. I think this one was in East Point. I work mostly in Southfield, Farmington area,
Okay.
but this one was an investment type property, and they wanted to do just minimum work, and so they wanted to flip it, but they put, it was like just one thin coat of white paint over orange.
Oh no.
You already know. Primer, I said white paint on top of orange, and you could see through it. And then they wanted to leave the appliances, and the appliances, one's black, one's white, and they're older. And you know what, the wasn't my biggest problem with the black and mixed match stuff, because some people know how to work with that. My problem with that was they want they didn't want to show the mismatch. If you're gonna sell it as mismatch, I'd rather show the actual picture.
Hmm.
So they wanted me to do an AI modification to make sure that the picture, these are my clients, that's what they want. But when people walk in, this is what you created, you know. And so when people walk in and they want to discount maybe $150,000 home down
Yeah.
$90,000, and basically all you needed to do was put a couple $1,000s in there to change some paint, some doors, get some cheaper appliances, get one
Yeah.
like, or it's going to be white, just change one of them out. if you're going to decide to leave them there. So it's small things. Those are some misconceptions. It's just that we're not
Yeah,
more than just door openers. We are there to, make you feel comfortable about this once in a lifetime, maybe twice in a lifetime purchase, because this is a major, major purchase.
it is.
And I can't even, to this day, I can't go to the dealership and buy a car by myself because it's just stressful. So a house, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So
Yeah, no, I understand. I feel like for me, and everybody is different, when
I,
you're even when I'm selling something on Marketplace, on uh Craigslist, any of those things, I'm not gonna just sell it.
yeah,
I'm gonna clean it up, make it look presentable,
yeah,
maybe put it up against a wall that's just plain, because you wanna get the best outcome. You know what I'm saying? You don't want your product or whatever you're selling to just be sitting. You want somebody to grab it up right away. So
hmm,
yeah, just taking that extra effort into, especially a house. We're talking about,
yeah,
tens of thousands of dollars. You want
yeah.
to little things help, like changing the porch light, painting the shutters on the house,
How
painting
about
the door.
moving these obvious spider webs off the front porch? You can't get,
Hmm.
this this small things
You're
that
just
make
walking into the house and it's just
you see it. Maybe the homeowners come in through the garage all the time, but they have to come in like, a client would through the front door. And you just can't all of a sudden say, "Oh, I didn't know those spider webs were."
is it presentable? It has to be presentable.
Yeah, yeah.
That's too hilarious. Um, wow. I in my renting days, I have been to homes that were presented, uh, they were perfect. I would say that. They looked perfect online. Everything was painted. I think that maybe I got pictures of the house when it was first rehabbed and done, and then maybe several people moved into this house.
Oh,
I
yeah,
get to the house, I'm excited.
yeah.
Drive up to the house. As soon as you open the door, I'm like, this house been beat down. I mean, the corners is beat, the paint is beat, the cabinet, everything is beat. And I mean, I think when you do that, that's a form of dishonesty,
It is.
because you're not presenting in the ad
Uh-huh.
exactly the way your house would look, and people look for that. They're like, okay, it looks freshly painted, new carpet. You get in the house, as soon as you walk through the door, there's a big spot on the carpet, and they're showing it like this. It's
And
just
that you brought that up, because another misconception is sometimes buyers, they run into something like that and they want to blame the realtor. If I'm taking a buyer, they want to blame me for this
mm,
looking like that because I should have known that before we went to the house. No, no, I don't. This is a surprise to me too. So if we have a list of 15 houses that we're going to be looking at, I don't get paid until we close.
mm-hmm,
And so unless you want to look at some of these that are open houses before we go, then you can do a preview and go yourself. But if step into my shoes or into my world, and I'm
mm-hmm,
more than one client, just like you go to the store, there's more than one person in line, then you got to realize that this stuff, I can't go to the 15 houses that you want me to look at and another 25 that somebody else wants me to look at. We're looking at this for the first time
mm-hmm.
together. So I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you mentioned that because I did
Absolutely.
not know before we get there.
As soon as you said that, that immediately took me there. It took me there. I'm like, because I've seen a lot of rental properties when I was renting back in the day, and some was horrible. They were painting over the plugs, painting over the lights. I'm like, well, how many coats of paint have this house had? Like, it looks terrible,
Yeah,
you
it'd be
know?
easier to just go get some plates and put it on there, even if you just did it on a few of the rooms.
Yeah, but
Just,
then you have some landlords or people that sell a house that they really take pride in their home,
yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. How has the real estate industry changed since you've started?
Okay, so back in 2001, there were, first of all, there was no Google. No, there was no Google. Look at your face.
No Google?
There was no Google.
I can't live life without Google.
Yeah, and so now, I mean, now we have Chat GPT and those AI stuff, things, but there was no Google. So we had what they call the Red Book, and we had to literally look in the Red Book or look in the yellow pages for services or look in the white pages for addresses and phone numbers. That's how things have changed
Wow.
since 2001.
Tremendously.
Yes. And so me looking up houses online now where I can get, 50 houses on one page and just turn the page and get the next 50 in a couple minutes, that wasn't happening when I started.
Or even have your iPad and you literally just
What iPad?
scrolling.
What iPad?
You don't have an
No,
iPad?
no, you had to go into the office to use the desktop.
But I'm talking about now.
Oh, now
You can have your handy dandy iPad and you
or
can
your
just scroll through.
yep.
So let me ask you this. So there was no GPS?
Oh my gosh. The big ones. I mean, they had these big phones. And then if you got a GPS, I mean, it was just like a couple people had them. Those were like the big producers, those that are big business and stuff. It was almost like, I don't know if you recall, when doctors, and they probably still do, when doctors had beepers,
Hmm.
that was the equivalent of that. So if you had a beeper or if you had a GPS, no, girl, my parents used to laugh at me so much because they were like, Rhonda knows how to read a map. Yeah,
And that's something that a lot of people don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know how to read a map.
yeah,
Honestly, I don't.
yeah. Because you got, think north, south, east, and west, like, and you got to, where am I? And then,
Hmm.
so I had the, not the GPS, but you had those, it's like those little, it was like a little ball that you just carry with you and it just kind of floats in the water. So that kind of tells you whether you're pointing
The compass, yeah.
west, south, east, or west, and then you just have to go that way.
Oh my gosh.
When you could literally go to gas stations and ask for directions. Can't do that now because the people that own a gas station don't even know where they are. So
No. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow. What are some of the most rewarding parts of your career?
when we close, that's so rewarding.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And not so much the money, just the joy on the face
Hmm.
of my clients or the tears. I can remember one client, she's a elderly woman, and I actually knew her from church. And she had a couple of houses that she owned, and she was ready to sell one of her houses. So she
Okay.
paid a loan, but her son was with her when we closed. And she was at the closing table crying. She said, I don't want to sell my house. Now, she wasn't living there,
Hmm.
one of her properties that she was getting rent from. But it was still something that some people hold on to their homes and it's an emotional attachment. What?
Sentimental. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so that's what it was for her. And you have to realize once you close, you sit at that closing table, once you close, unless it's stipulated on the documents that we need 15 days after closing before we're gone. If this is, you get immediate occupancy, then
Hmm.
once you sign on the line, anything you left in there, first of all, you shouldn't be leaving anything in there because it should be cleaned out. On the purchase agreement, it says it should be broom swept clean. So she had this pool table, and then she just wanted to say something. She said, "Well, can I go back in there and get my pool table?" She was older woman on a cane. Can I go back in there and get my pool table? You left that in there for your tenants, and you ain't seen that pool table in 40 years.
And ages, yeah.
So her son was like, "Mom," he had to calm her down, calm her down. So we closed on it. She had those mixed emotions. She was happy to sell it because she knew you could use the money, but then there's something that she's had for a long time that she was proud of, that she had some investment properties.
And I can imagine, probably a lot was going through her head.
Yeah.
I remember when I sold my mom's house and she wanted to take everything. And I'm like, well, we can't take everything. And there was, this was my childhood home. There was books in the basement. There was old cookbooks.
Mm-hmm.
There was bar stools. It was sentimental things that my father had made for the home,
Yeah.
and when I say she wanted everything, she wanted everything. And I had to get someone to come pick her up. My sister, I think my sister came and picked her up to take her away
Yes.
because I couldn't get through it with her there because it was like so much anxiety.
Yeah.
Make sure you get this, make sure you get this, make sure you get this. And I told her, I said, Mom, we already got the things that you said you could do without and the things that you can't do without. So now, those things are either going to get discarded, I'm going to give them away. And
It's
that's what I did. Mostly, I let people come in the house. I said, okay, after she had everything out, she had say and everything, take whatever you want. This is less stuff I have to trash.
yeah. It's hard. I've seen it happen with a sister-in-law. Um, they had to put her in a senior living home, and she
Mm-hmm.
huge house in Rochester Hills. And she raised all five of her kids there. Nobody was there. She ran a daycare out of this place, and she loved being in her yard, but she could no longer maintain it. And
Mm-hmm.
it's so hard for her to try to sell and I mean, it was very emotional. So yeah, they had to move her into her senior living facility, and
Mm-hmm.
they had to take things away because
Wow.
yeah, it was hard.
It's very emotional. I definitely understand when you said crying and stuff, I think when that process happened, my mom was sad. I felt like there was a little level of depression that had set in because this is her home that she's been in since she was married to my dad.
Yeah. But on the flip side of that, you have people who are newlyweds who got the great job and they're very, very excited. And I like
Mm-hmm.
it too, you know,
Yeah.
seeing that they're going into something brand new.
Mm-hmm.
They basically think this is my first time buyer. I'm going into this home, and they want the world. They want everything sparkling new. And so
Oh yeah.
that's entertaining to me. That's very entertaining. So yeah, I like it. I just love seeing all this stuff happen and unfold.
What's one of the biggest challenges realtors face that most people never see?
You know, I can remember because, like I said, my personality is you already know how I am and who I'm about, what I'm about. But it's natural for me to just be kind.
Mm-hmm.
That's just who I am. But in real estate, you have to have thick skin.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can remember a friend of mine who's pretty tough. And when I was looking for a home, she was like, Rhonda, when you start negotiating, are you going to be all super nice or are you going to go to back? Yes, behind these closed doors. I got to be professional in front of my client, but at the same time, I want them to understand that I have your best interest at heart.
Absolutely.
And a few of my clients have seen me in action, but I'd rather them just see the side of me. And as long as we're winning, I did my job behind the scene. Trust and believe. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, I'm not gonna let somebody, just run over my clients. And,
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't do that anyway, but there are some wolves out here that will take over if you allow them to,
Oh, I believe it.
and I won't allow it.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah,
What's
we go to war, we go to fight, and by the time it's almost like an attorney that you might see on TV.
mm-hmm.
They do all this barking and fighting, and then after everything is closed and the team won and gone out to lunch, I've gotten
That's the mind frame it did put me in. I was thinking about, an attorney. Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gained friendships out of this, and people I haven't talked to in a long time. We became friends over the phone, and they'll see, "Oh, Rhonda, I'm looking for a house over here. I noticed that you have it listed." Yeah, and so I know that these people are good to work with. They won't work with any crazy clients. Their clients are serious about it, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where the relationship comes in at, and that's one of the things that you should count on about your realtor, because if you're looking for a home and you're being represented by a realtor,
Mm-hmm.
they have developed some friendships out here. And because someone knows them, the likelihood of you easing into this door because of your realtor speaks volumes. And
Yes.
there's one is it's is a lot of stuff on TV online, go represent yourself, or the sellers, you don't have to pay this commission because this, that, and the other. But if you have realtors that represent you as even as a seller, um, there are relationships out here that
Mm-hmm.
we already developed. And so, you're talking one house and you're looking for one client where I've developed relationships and people are that I've met are looking for this, and we can make it happen because they were easy to work with.
Yeah. How do you feel about like, and I know you've probably represented some family members before. How do you feel about family and close friends and stuff like that?
I have represented family before. It's okay. I only when it comes to that, first of all, I like referrals. People that I know, like, and trust is what I call a good referral.
Mm-hmm.
So if a family member is referred to me and we work together, we're gonna we're gonna make sure we separate business from pleasure. You know,
Okay.
so we're here to take care of business. We can still laugh and joke a little bit, but I'm here for business. I had to learn early in my career, whether it was family or somebody I just met because of my church affiliation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a hugger. I would meet Sometimes I would meet people for the first time, and I'm like, "Hi." My husband was like, "Would you stop? You don't even know. Shake, shake a hand." But it's okay working with family. But there's two sides to that too. Most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
it's the family that don't want to work with you.
Oh,
And I can tell you that I know why now. I mean, after I had my feelings hurt a couple times, but I know why now. And it's because some family members think that you're going to know everything about them through this one transaction. This is just
yes.
one transaction. So not only are you working with me as a realtor, you have to work with the lender. They have your financials. I don't have the financials,
Oh,
Right. So you're working with a lender. Then you're working with the title company, and the title company has other information. So you and I, as people might say, I'm the door opener, but more to it than that. But I'm just saying, I don't know all that information. So yeah, it's happened at least a couple of times. Found out family member purchased a house, and oh, my feeling was hurt. But by the time we get to the office and everybody having the same conversation going on, everybody in there, brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, and uncles, went to somebody else,
oh
and it
no.
boiled down to, yeah, you haven't experienced being a realtor until you've been until
Wow.
a family member you say, I don't work with her, I don't work with him. Yeah.
Wow.
But on the other hand, I have family members that are out of state. Well,
Mm-hmm.
my license are from Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
but I will have a family member from out of state that's looking for a house. So I have some cousins in Atlanta, and
Mm-hmm.
he called me because he had a new construction, and he knew who he was going to be working with, who was sitting at this new construction.
Mm-hmm.
Asked me if I could refer him because my license are in Michigan. I could say my cousin is moving to Atlanta. I want to refer my cousin to you, for a 20% referral fee.
Okay.
I'll get a fee. Now he can choose anybody he wants to out there, but he's all the way in Atlanta, and he know that I could get a small fee, get that revenue
Excuse
while
me.
he's trying. So
Now, wait a minute. Now, let's go back to that 20% referral fee. That's nice. So,
mhm.
is that something that you have to already have drawn up in the contract once you refer them? Like, how does that work?
Yeah. So say you're moving to Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
right? And these new constructions, you can walk into them, and talk to the realtor, but you can tell the realtor, I have a relative who works in Michigan, but when I was working with a certain company, the certain company also was in Atlanta, and so we had the same database, and she sent me to you. So you're Jane Doe Realtor,
Okay.
and my cousin is Rhonda Mitchell. So Rhonda Mitchell sent me to Jane Doe Realtor. You wouldn't have a relationship with me until my cousin went online to the database and sent me to you.
Okay.
So here is the referral fee she gave me, or she can email it to you herself. And they already know, we already know in this industry, there's a 20 to 25% referral fee.
Okay. All
Yeah. So
right.
it's not a shock to anybody. They'd rather have something than nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a referral is a referral at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you have people who, relatives who may think, well, I can get a referral fee. It doesn't work that way. That's against the law.
I
There,
didn't know that though. Really?
no, there are people out there. They figure, well, I'm your cousin, and I showed you this, that, and the other, so you can give me a referral. No, it doesn't work that way. We have what we call compliances,
Hmm.
the National Association of Realtors,
Okay.
and you're not allowed to do that. I can give you a thank you. I appreciate you. But I mean, whether you're trying to refer it to me or somebody else, it's going to be the same thing.
Hmm.
You know, I don't come to your job and say, oh, yeah, you work for Pepsi. We bought some Pepsi. So can you send a case to my house? I'm your cousin. That doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and I imagine you could probably, lose your license, for
You
doing something like
just,
that.
they have secret shoppers everywhere. They have the same thing in real estate.
Really? So you don't know who's coming your
You
way.
don't know.
So I always wondered about that. I always see, ads about mystery shoppers, and that's actually a mystery shopper.
Yes.
They're just if it's like an audit, let's just say like a
Yeah.
job would do a drug test. If it's
Yeah.
an audit, they're gonna
Yeah.
send a mystery person to
Yes.
you.
Because there's
Wow.
language that you cannot say when you're out selling homes. You can't say things like, this is the best neighborhood.
Mm.
Someone calls and asks you about the neighborhood, you have to suggest that they go take a ride. Or now that we have
Wow.
Google Maps, go on Google Maps and see what you can find, see if that will answer your questions. I can't say whether it's a good neighborhood or not. So that's a no-no. Whether somebody is of whatever gender or whatever, and whether they moved into this house and what about them, can't tell you that. Who lives next door, what political affiliation. No, we can't get into things like that.
Hmm.
You could lose your license.
Wow. I can see why that is a form of discrimination too,
It,
to an extent.
it is.
Wow. What's one piece of advice you'd give to every seller before listing their home?
You want to make sure that from the outside all the way in, that you're setting your home up for first impressions.
Hmm.
Curb appeal. There are some people who feel like, I'm moving, so I don't need to cut my grass. You want to sell your home. You want to sell your home, whether you cutting it or somebody else is cutting it. And if you
Grass is 10 feet tall.
if you've moved out and you're no longer there, pay your neighbor to cut the grass. If they're out there, pay
Hmm.
cut the grass. Just keep it neat. You know.
Yeah.
So I would say things like that carries value. So
Hmm.
people want to see that you were a homeowner who valued your home. Nobody wants to move into a home where you just didn't care. Because if you have to get an offer from somebody who's moving to your home who feel like you just didn't care, you're going to get that investor. You're not going to get the homeowner who wants to move in. You're going to get that investor who's going to lowball you. And
Yeah.
you don't have to clean up nothing. I'll do everything.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
I can understand that. That would be no different than me going to look for a car, a used car.
yeah.
If I see the car is trashed, everything, the car looks, like it's been just mistreated, that makes me think, like, I don't know if this is the car for me. I
But
really want this car, but I don't know.
there's something for everybody
There
because
is.
if you're a detailer and the car is trash, there's something for everybody. One man's trash is another man's treasure. So it may look like trash to you, but this person, oh yeah, let me vacuum this out and spray it in, shampoo the carpet. They think it looks like $10,000 trash, and they spend $500 to get some things done, and they're looking for stuff like that. Just
Look,
like
puts me in a mind frame of a flipper.
exactly, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got people out there, something for everybody.
And I'm going to ask you this. What is the biggest mistake that first time home buyers make?
They're excited, and so they want to go out and buy new stuff right away. So your realtor should explain to you as a first time home buyer, you were pre-approved because of your debt to income ratio.
Mm-hmm.
And if you start spending money, charging things before we close this house, we could get to the table and we're not closing.
I know where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yep.
now your debt ratio is something totally different than it was when we started.
Yep. And they're thinking, well, yeah, they checked on me in the front end, but they're not checking them to me on the back. Oh, 2 days before you close this deal, they're checking. They're still checking to see if you're still working. They're checking your bank statements and everything. So you're not just giving them bank statements in the beginning, all the way to the end. That's why we have to have what you call a clear to close. Are we clear to close? Is everything good?
Mm-hmm. So they're still calling, they're literally calling the job to verify that you're still actively employed.
Yes. And just think about this environment when there were so many people being laid off, like hundreds of them at one time, the government. So you call it the last minute, see if you're still working there, and you've been laid off.
Mm.
That's scary because you were already set up for where you were already living. That house is gone or
Mm-hmm.
renting, and the next, tenant is waiting to go in, and you got to go on this date because you said you were going to be closing. It's
Wow.
a trickle effect.
That's a lot of stuff to think about. That is a lot of stuff to think about.
Yeah.
So
So
basically what you're telling me, so
that's why it's important to listen to your realtor. That's why, we're not just door openers. How many times I got to say that? We're gonna
excuse me, that just cracks me up every time.
we got to keep you reminded. We got to keep you reminded. Don't go out there by no car. Don't go out there and church.
So
Don't do
no refrigerators with matching stoves, dishwashers, microwaves, no side by side,
none of that.
washing
But
machines and dryers, no nothing.
they having a black sale. You gonna miss this black sale because it's this house. Yeah,
So get the house first, close on the house. It has to be clear to close.
yeah. Now, if it was something that you've already bought before you got pre-approved, that's one thing. Because some people buy stuff and put it in storage because
Yeah.
they want to do that. They put it in storage and then they get pre-approved. Well, you got all your new stuff already in your pre.
Okay.
But once you get pre-approved, do not start spending any different than you were spending before.
Okay. Wow. That is some great advice. I mean, I think a lot of people need to hear that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you can go back to your younger self, what
Mhm.
is one piece of career advice you would give to yourself? Excuse me.
Younger self, I would say we have what they call Con Ed, continuing education. Take all the Con Ed that you can take without stressing yourself out because they have what they call designations. And so you can have a designation and get certified in negotiations. You can be a certified buyer agent. You can be a certified listing agent. You can be certified in so many things.
Mhm.
And when you are on social media and you have people that are looking for that's if they are strangers and they see that you have all these certifications, they like that. They like that you
Yeah.
like what you're doing. So I'm talking to the choir right now, myself, right? Said I have been working and doing real estate for all these years, and I had a couple designations, and some of the designations, to be perfectly honest with you, they don't last. Always, you have to renew them. And
Mhm.
I always renew my designation. So one of the only one that's standing out right now is my associate broker's license, which means that I could open up my own broker if I want
Mhm.
to. So it's some different things that you have as far as associate broker. But now that I'm into this full time now, I'm getting ready to dive into my designations now. So
Okay.
business cards made up. So I just had a couple of I've had just a few made up now because I'm getting ready to really kick butt with these designations right now. So
All right. All right. I like to hear that.
it's never too late. I don't care who's out there doing what, whether you're new or you've been in it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Start over, it's no big deal. You know, nobody can take from you the experience that you've already had. Nobody. I don't care whether you have designations or not.
Mm-hmm.
So those designations are for people who really don't know you. They're new to town. You want those people, but I have enough people now that will refer me and have referred me to do,
Mm-hmm.
because when I first started off, I was excited to get $100,000 property. So I've moved up. I'm past 400,000. I'm close to
Mm-hmm.
5,000, and it's gonna
Wow.
it's gonna get better.
Wow, it definitely is.
And for those who are listening, in the Metro Detroit market, those $400,000 or $500,000 properties, that's good. Now, $400,000 or $500,000 properties in California,
Mm-hmm.
nothing. That's peanuts. Their
Yeah.
$500 property look like $150,000 properties here. So, my
It's a big difference.
so I know for sure. Yeah,
Wow. What is some advice you would give to someone who's thinking about becoming a realtor?
I would say don't just look at what you think, like I did. Oh, that looks easy. If you think that it looks easy, or if it's something that you're interested in, I would say ask a lot of questions. Whoever
Okay.
it is that's making it look easy, ask a lot of questions. Because there were some family members and friends, including my husband, who came behind me after selling real estate, and none of them selling real estate anymore because they couldn't do it. I don't know how you did it. That's what they would say to me.
Oh my goodness.
So that's one thing. Another thing is, when you do get into real estate,
Mm-hmm.
know that it can be expensive. And I'm not trying to talk anybody out of it, but you just want to know some things going in, because you can build the business where you got the right pipeline and you have the right systems in place. You can
Mm-hmm.
really make money, but you have to know that it's expensive. When I say expensive, you have to pay depending on where you're going. So you
Okay.
want to interview the offices that you're interested in. So if you want the big name brand, box brand companies, you're going to pay for that. So you have monthly fees in some of these. And then on top of that, you have to split your commission with them. And then they have a
Is that a 50 split? A 50-50 split
good
or?
question. Good question. It depends. It depends. If you're coming in and you are shadowing somebody, you may be doing a 50-50 split.
Oh.
So, say for instance, you're listing this house,
Mm-hmm.
you're having this discussion with your seller, and you're talking about what commission would be. Now, there are no more standard commissions. It used to be where it would be standard, but just a couple of years ago, that's changed. So I'm going to talk about it in a standard way.
Okay.
So, say for instance, you were talking to the seller and told the seller, okay, the commission is going to be a 6% commission
Mm-hmm.
home, and you're telling them that. And this 6% commission, 3% goes to me, and
Mm-hmm.
3% goes to the buyer's agent. Okay, so now I only have 3% of my side of my commission. And now, if I'm doing a 50-50 split with my office,
Mm-hmm.
I'm only getting 1.5% of all this hard work.
Wow.
But I say it's expensive. And then on top of that, every month you're paying them, because if you want to go inside the office and use their computer and use the whatever they have, or pay for leads and all the other stuff, it can become so expensive. So that's why you have to beware of where you're going. And then you have some of the other places, all you're trying to do is get out here and sell these houses and, get your money.
Yeah.
So you have other places, they don't structure their payments like that. Some of them are
Okay.
70-30. you're pretty fortunate if you get a 20/80.
Wow.
And all of this is based on how much you've sold for your fiscal year.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're expected to sell, I don't know, let's say $1 million worth of properties, which isn't hard because if you get like a $250,000 property, you sell four of those for the year, you got your $1 million. And now after you
Mm-hmm.
$1 million, now you get 100% of what you're bringing in.
Okay, I kind of see how this is
You get
going.
100% of your 3%. Yeah. Then
Okay.
you have some offices
Excuse me.
that don't ride you like that. They will, they're glad to have you there. And, sometimes you get phone calls in and they will share whatever phone call comes in, but then they'll take their cut off of giving you that lead.
Okay.
So, and then some of them, you don't have to pay a monthly fee. So it depends. So if you want to be a realtor, you want to know what you're getting into, you want to talk to somebody, go to the real estate schools and just chat. I don't know if they will tell you where to go.
Mm-hmm.
Most part, you got social media now. Ask somebody.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. I didn't know that. I did read one time, I was looking into something, I'm not mentioning any companies, but there was like a certain amount of money you have to make for them before you can get all of your money.
Right.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
that's most of them. Yeah. You don't get
Okay.
that until, you know, you get that certain amount in.
Wow. So tell me, where can people connect with you and learn more about your services?
They can call me at the office because the office links to our cell phone number. I'm getting it up. The reason why I'm not giving my cell phone number now because I'm changing some things. I'm going into
Okay.
automation, so that's going to change. But my office will transfer all calls to me,
Okay.
and I work for Clients First Realtors. They are located in Canton on Ford Road.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the phone number there is 734-981-2900.
Okay.
And then you can go on our website, which is Clients First Realtors.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's Clients First and Realtors with an S.com.
Okay.
You can
All
find
right. And let me ask you this because I didn't ask last question here. Do you do any mentoring for real estate?
I can.
You
Now that
can.
I'm doing
Okay.
full time. Now that I'm doing full time, I'm building a couple of things right now. And so once I get, and when I say a couple of things, AI is everywhere. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
parent. So AI is everywhere. And so I'm into the automation piece of AI now,
Mm-hmm.
where I'm going to build my own phone system to answer questions.
Nice.
So
Nice.
that should be up and running in a couple of weeks. And I want to do the test drive on myself first. And so I'm also building where I have information and systems in place and CRMs for realtors. So I have
Mm-hmm.
something for my clients and I have something for realtors, and that's coming.
Wow. That sounds really nice.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear more about that.
Yeah. And the
Um,
company, I have the name is RYM Digital Ventures. And those are my initials, RYM Digital Ventures.
I put that much together. I like it. I like it. Well, I want to thank you so much for being a guest on Life Unscripted today. We got a lot of valuable information.
Yeah.
And I hope that the viewers that are watching that they can get a lot from this. And if someone wants to reach out to you, you've already given the information. I'm going to place your information on the video as well so
Okay.
they can get it.
And
But thank you so much.
I'll follow up with you. I'm building my LinkedIn page. I've taken it up and put it down and taken it up because I've changed. AI changes so fast. It's like,
It
okay,
does.
I started with this because I did a presentation at Hartford Memorial Baptist Church and they loved it.
Nice.
And so I did a AI presentation with them. It was cool. And so they called me back. They have something every year. This was their second annual business meeting uh,
Hmm.
networking program. And so I was glad to be a part of that. And so Yeah.
Oh, wow. Congratulations on that. And congratulations on building something new for your business.
Yeah.
Um,
So I'm not on social media that much right now, but I'm gonna be really heavy on LinkedIn. So
okay.
I should be getting that up and running again very, very soon. Because like I said,
Okay.
I have my old business name on it because like I said, AI changes so much. I've changed it from January to now it's changed. So I'm getting ready,
Okay.
I'm ready to be real solid in a few minutes.
Oh, absolutely. No worries. I would like to ask, would you like to come back for a part two and we talk about you being a broker?
Abs-
Um,
Absolutely. Yeah. I hesitated because I'm not a broker. I don't have my own business, but I'm what you call an associate broker.
associate broker.
I
Okay.
yes.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Definitely. Well, thank you so much. It was great having you.
My
I hope
pleasure.
you enjoyed yourself.
I did, and congratulations on your new podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Right.
much.
Well,
You, thank you. You have a blessed day.
okay, thanks. You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.